website and was looking at the textbooks that we now use for the first grade, third grade, and fifth grade, and I was amazed how little math is actually being taught. In the first grade, they expect the student to get to 20, to add to 20. And with addition and math, it's so much easier than waiting that long to teach the students. And when I looked at the science textbook, within 5 minutes I found a major mistake. This is uncalled for. We should demand that our students be taught high quality, and it'll be a lot easier for them because they're not confused. Math is a very exciting topic, but if you confuse the students, they're going to have problems for the rest of their lives. I taught UCLA freshman students, and it was always amazing to me what they lacked in just basic math skills. So my goal is to increase the standards that we require for our students so that they can actually get a good education and hopefully, have a good career in their lives. And we got to attack the low-performing schools in the South region. It's just uncalled for. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Estrada?
Yes, I'd like to say again my history in this community. I'm dedicated to this community. That's why I'm running. I've been to school as a student myself, as an employee, as a community member. My hat's off to these gentlemen who spent 8 and 16 years on the board. That was quite a job, and we appreciate that. But I think we need some new perspectives. I've been in education over 20 years. I've been at every level, and I think that sometimes we need to change a little bit to move forward. And that's why I'm running, because I think I have the perspective at every level that we need, and able to communicate when we need to communicate, not only with our students, employees, but with our community.
Thank you. Mr. Davis?
As was mentioned before, there's a comment made about the textbooks. And the textbooks are in fact mandated by the state. We have limited choice in what we get to do. And it's just like so many things that when Todd talked about the mandates for the state, they say, here's $1 to spend as you want. And then they'll say, and here's a penny you have to spend on that, and here's a nickel you have to spend on something else. And by the time you added it up, they're giving you $1.75, but only a huge percent of that is dictated in what you can do. And it's worse than that, because sometimes they'll say, here's a nickel that you can spend to accomplish this, but doing that costs a dime. And so you got to take another nickel out of your dollar, and by the time you're done, half your budget is already is dictated by the state. I mentioned there's 3 things that I focus on. I talked a lot about student achievement. The next objective, in my mind, is protecting the taxpayers by getting the best value we can out of every dollar that the taxpayers entrust with us. I see our charter as doing the best we can to get as many kids to learn the state standards that have been set forth by the taxpayers' representatives. They're a good set of standards we have in California. They're the highest in the nation, the most difficult in the nation. And the third objective is enhancing the value of our community by enhancing the quality of our schools. I was a very strong supporter of Measure L. We've done a lot of good things with the Measure G and the Measure L money, and we're really grateful to the community for supporting us by passing those measures. And I think we've done a good job in return in using that money in ways that will provide major enhancement in value to the schools and the students in our community. I asked you we have 2 brochures in the back. One is talks about John and myself, and the other is my own perspective on some issues. And I really hope you'll take both of those and look them over. And I really appreciate your vote on November 2nd. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Abelov?
Thank you. As Lynn said, textbooks are controlled by the state. It's a very strange system. The textbooks have to be approved by, the State Education Commission, and then we're told which of the 3 textbooks for science we can choose. We're fortunate enough that we have such high-quality employees, we actually will take those 3 textbooks and we will pilot each of them amongst a group of teachers, and then those teachers will get back together and collaborate and decide which is the best textbook to use. But forget textbooks. 10, 12 years ago, when California decided it was going to write its own standards, we were ahead of the curve. As soon as we got the standards from California, Tustin itself sat down and said, these standards are ridiculous. They're way too low. We wrote our own standards, and our standards were way above them. You've got to keep the bar high. You can't get achievement unless the bar is kept high. We can't teach to the middle. We've got to keep pushing and pushing and pushing. It's the only way to get success. And so the textbook may only go up to 20, but I can guarantee you the teacher is going well beyond 20, if that's what you're seeing in a classroom. We have been, our district has been on a climb in terms of achievement for the last decade plus. Going back to not even when, but when Mr. Henry was on the board, achievement was happening. We have other school districts who are constantly coming in to look at our programs because they are models and they are successful. We have people coming in looking at our IT department to see how we're being so successful on the verge of technology. This is a very exciting time. If you stand still, you're really sliding backwards. We've got to keep moving forward. We've got to keep doing the same things that we've been doing so we can keep advancing. And the best way we can do that is when you go to vote, you vote for Lynn Davis, and you vote for me, Jonathan Abelov, on November the 2nd. Thank you.
Okay, that concludes our forum. Thank you very much to all of you for coming to learn about your candidates. Thank you to the candidates for their